On. Welcome to Show Me Your News, the pinnacle for delivering and debating the gaming news that matters the most to you.
Rumor-filled gossip, hardware blunders, or upcoming releases.
If it relates to video games, we want to talk about it.
I am Yoko, but you can call me Peter, and I am over those Ice Bucket Challenge videos.
Yeah, there's too many of those, seriously.
A little all over the place. I am Solaroth, but you can call me Miles, and I remembered my lines.
Shut up! I'm Rachel, also known as Evie. I did mine backwards, and I swallowed a cheese grater, and my throat feels like it's so bloody rough today. Not good for my first day of co-hosting.
No, it's tough, but you're hanging in there like a trooper. Rachel, congratulations. You are our new co-host on the Show Me Your News network.
Thank you. I'm very
Show me-
excited, but very nervous.
My first time as a full-time host came with a very bad loss of voice.
That's true, it did, and it sounded like a smoker's voice.
It really did.
Yeah.
Smoke like 20 packs a day.
So let's talk some video games, huh?
Why
We're
do
part of the
they
Show Me Your News network at showmeyournews.com.
You see
Art.
this Saturday night thing? What a bozo.
What a bozo. Our top stories today for episode 165 of Show Me Your News on Sunday, August 24th, 2014. In the Smash Brothers update, because Super Smash Brothers for Wii U and 3DS is only a few weeks away in Japan, so, they're still doing updates. We got to hear about Meta Knight and other different updates, but the biggest news was the Unknown Renders leak, which we'll talk about. We may have seen our Nightmare roster. We'll talk a bit about that. And then the other big story over in Europe, which is a little appropriate with Rachel being our co-host now on Show Me Your News. Gamescom, the big public game conference, almost like the European E3, if you will, happened. Several news stories from there. We have more stories in our story pool. We have games that are out recently, and we'll wrap up the show with our YouTube video recommendations. Rachel, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit, though? Kind of get yourself accustomed to the Show Me News audience. You were on an episode of our show, episode 154, I think. So, a little while ago. This isn't your first rodeo on this show, though.
No, it's not. I mean, it's my first as, being a co-host thing, so I feel like there's so much pressure. There's so much pressure.
That's because there is.
Oh my god, no, don't tell me that. You asshole.
But you're used to doing game streams on your Twitch channel.
Yeah, I mainly entertain the masses on my own Twitch channel playing. I say I play whatever I feel like playing. I normally end up just playing my addiction, which is one game over and over and over. But I like the nostalgic games more than anything. I'm a terrible person for keeping up with latest games and things. I can't even afford a Wii U and 3DS, so there's that problem.
It is a challenge, but who knows? With your time here on this show, that may change, and I think you bring a valuable perspective to the show. So, on behalf of everyone, both Miles and I included, we want to thank Tony for his time on this podcast. It really, really meant a lot to be able to provide the perspective that he did, and we'd kind of known for a little while that he was starting to feel a little burned out on the show, but really being a trooper for trying to stick it out. And he's a busy dude. You may have known that, all the different jobs he's working and all that. It's tough with the schedule he was keeping. He does have Stoof Films over at Stoof VP on YouTube. But really, I mean, he's not gone from the community. Tony will still be hanging around. But we really do appreciate his time and, take his resignation with a heavy heart. But it's a new era. It's time to begin. So let's start with the first segment we have on our show. It's called What Are You Playing? And we talk about the games you've been playing in the last couple of weeks, kind of a bit of a box that we kind of just open and say, what have we been playing? So, Miles, you begin.
Well, with my new roommate, Rob Joe, comes his Wii U. So I've been playing Nintendo Land a little bit, and only one game, the Donkey Kong little tilter game.
Yes.
And I learned something the other day. You can reset yourself to the checkpoint without dying. I wish I had remembered that. I wish I had known that, or anything. Because I only went through with 5 lives, and as soon as I screwed up, even though, well, I'm dead, I might as well go kill myself. And no, you can just press a button and you just revert back to the checkpoint without losing a life, and that would have been a lot better to know. But outside of that, I've not gotten as far as the Game Grumps have, sadly.
Mm-hmm.
And
That was the first one I think of, with just the "It's a beautiful night." Oh, oh.
Outside of that, I have been playing Kirby's Triple Deluxe. It's getting a little better, but at the same token, I'm very much still like nostalgic for the old Kirby stuff because that had some good difficulty. The difficulty here is not the good, as in there's no difficulty. I'm just running through it. I'm not even having it any time to just like stop and be like, oh man, this is a hard section. No, it's just like, no, that was a thing. Literally just had to hold right. All right.
Well, the question is, are you having fun?
Nope.
Oh, well.
No.
You're just trying to power through it then?
Just trying to power through it. What I have been having fun with, though, is Mario and Luigi Dream Team. I finally passed... I think... I say it every week.
You do.
But I think I'm past the tutorial part. And I will say, over the last couple weeks, the tutorials have been dying out. I'm finally getting to a part of the game where it feels like it's actually a game and less of a tutorial.
Good.
I have not seen a tutorial in a while. That's how far I've gotten, so I'm happy about this.
That's good.
And, like, last thing I saw as a tutorial was someone saying, gee, I wonder how we get through this. I wonder if you can do this thing for me. And I'm like, there's a giant screw right there, and I have a drill move. What do you think?
They should make a game which is basically all tutorials and just see how many people actually stick it out for the longest.
Oh, God.
That's called Mario and Luigi Dream Team.
Oh, God.
I'm ahead of you on that one.
They don't
Outside of...
how they used to. They really don't.
But outside of that, I have just been playing some Project M.
Yes, for those that are joining us for the first time, whether you're one of Eevee's fans on Twitch or if you are from Smashboards, Solharath, Miles here, plays that game professionally.
I do play it professionally. Yesterday was a rather big tournament for myself. It was the third iteration of Manor Smash, which is a tournament series I produce. This one had 32 entrants for Project M, including hard hitters like Lord Helmet, the third best Ike in Project M entirely, also known as my doubles partner for the last year. We also have very strong spacey play from Kalamazoo guys, Zbet and Blake. And they have been seriously showing up all of Michigan recently with their basically on-point spacey play, mainly Fox. And I have been well known as someone who just gets absolutely stomped by Foxes and Falcos. And yesterday I lost to Braden, and in loser's bracket I came screaming back. I beat our resident spacey player who I've never beaten since he's gotten to the point of where he can be said as a really good spacey. I defeated him, then I defeated my partner, and then I went on to defeat both Braden, and who sent me into losers bracket, and Blake, someone who I'd never taken a single game off of for previous.
Wow.
And that was screaming through grand finals. And grand finals set 1 went to game 3. I trashed him in all 3 games, and set 2 went to game 5. And it's been all this time on Smashville, but I came ahead and took first.
You got first in singles.
I got first in singles,
Wow.
first in doubles.
Wow.
GG.
It's almost like you ran the tournament. Oh, wait.
Yo, those TO Johns, though, everyone knows if you run a tournament and participate, you generally don't do well.
That's true, because you're stressed out all over the place. So you play Sonic, and Project M, for those that don't know, it's a Super Smash Bros. Brawl modification that makes the game more technical, trying to bring back a feel of Super Smash Bros. Melee. Not necessarily trying to replicate, but just a more competitive technical feel.
Definitely.
That'll be fun.
And it is amazing, fun, and free.
It is free.
It is
I played
free.
a bit Brawl, and like I can't get along with Brawl as well as I can do with Melee. Is that because like I'm used to more clunky controls and stuff? I don't know.
Not clunky, just faster play, more technical play. Not a lot of people picked up and enjoyed Brawl more than Melee, so you're not alone there.
Yay! We're not alone. There's someone here beside me.
Rachel, what have you been playing?
Oh, you got me when I was drinking water. Sorry. I've been playing a few different things this past week. Excuse me. Mainly because, again, I stream a lot of it, but one of the main things I play is something called The Binding of Isaac, and my
Hmm.
Twitch followers will know that a lot more. That's what I play, because it's a game that I'm totally addicted to, and it's the one
Hmm.
I've racked up the most hours on my Steam. I went and had a look at the other morning, and there's over 450 hours in there now.
I was
What?
gonna ask how much that was. I would have guessed
Yeah.
250 to 300.
I was
No,
just gonna
there's
guess 50. Ah.
there's over
Last time,
450 hours.
last time I saw 450 was Rob Joe's freaking Pokemon Plat or Pokemon Pearl.
Oh,
I had 450 hours into it.
wow.
I get seriously too addicted to that game. Like every day, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna play something different today. I'm gonna do something different, and then like after an hour of playing that something different, no, I want to play more Isaac.
Yeah,
It's like,
Bioshock Infinite coming up.
yes, I do. I'm gonna play that on Monday. Tomorrow.
right.
Sorry, yay.
Oh, yeah.
But very recently, actually, today I was playing something called the Community Remix, which is where the community of people who like to play Binding of Isaac have sort of made their own items and stuff for the game, and they added it into it, and it's pretty cool. So there's a lot of new things that I'm picking up now because normally I'm like, oh, I don't want that item. That item sucks, or I want that item because it's amazing. I know exactly what it does, or I don't want that because I won't get another item later on in the game because I'm a nerd for it. And now I'm
Mhm.
like, what the fuck does that do? I need that in my life, and I don't know why. Because they brought out this thing because there's this new Binding of Isaac supposed to be coming out this year. Hopefully, it's been in
Yes.
the making for a while, called Rebirth.
Hmm.
And thankfully, it's not a Flash-based game, so it doesn't crash every other fucking screen. Thank God. Some people are really complaining that it's not going to be Flash-based, but I'm quite happy for the fact that it won't be.
Hmm.
All
has
I
a
know
lot.
is that as far as me and Binding of Isaac is concerned, I played 5 minutes and probably saw 10 frames of animation.
Damn. But
I
that supercomputer though.
That supercomputer, though.
That's not true. But apart
So
from
basically, what you're saying is, for Show Me Your News fans, we had a co-host, the Buzzsaw, who was well known for saying, "Oh, I'm playing Borderlands, playing Borderlands." Miles, you're known for playing Project M, but you have a reason for doing so. You make money off of it. So what you're
That's right.
saying is, you're gonna say,
Dollar bills.
"Been playing Binding of Isaac, guys. You know how it is."
yeah, it's either that for me or the Ocarina of Time because God knows how many times I've completed that in my life ever since getting it when I was 10 years old. Such a little
Have
baby.
How much of the Master
Um,
Quest have you played?
I've only played the Master Quest 3 once.
Ooh.
In all fairness, I have actually played the original one more. Really, I mean, I
Well-
played it once just because I got it with the Wind Waker, and you get the
Right.
special edition
Yep.
thing.
Yep.
And then
That's
as soon
right,
as I
yeah,
saw Zubats in the first dungeon, I was like, "What the hell are you doing in here? What is this?"
Gee,
like,
I
I-
love
I like it. They just said Zubats.
Yes.
Zubats, sorry.
No, don't be sorry. It's a
Jeez.
good thing.
It
This
makes
show
sense.
is well known with its Zubats
Yes, it is.
and their
Yes, it
armies.
I was like, when I got onto Master Quest, though, it was weird. I couldn't do the adult dungeons in order. I only got so far before having to go to the next ones. Like, I got to the forest dungeon, I got as far as getting the arrows and got stuck. So then I moved on to the fire temple. And then I got as far as getting the hammer, I got stuck. So I moved on to the water temple. And I completed the water temple in a very short
Wait.
amount of time. So it's a lot easier than the old one. And then
Wait.
did fire than the...
You're
You went
able
the
to do
fire
that?
temple- You went to the fire temple and you got as far as the hammer. The hammer's the first room.
I think. Oh wait, no. What did I do? I got something. I can't remember. I got stuck. Anyway. I got stuck, and then I moved on. But then I did it: water, fire, forest, and then I moved on to normal order because that's a thing. But I've not played that recently, anyway. So
What else have you been playing?
I've also been playing. I played a little bit of Link's Awakening recently, actually.
Yeah.
The DX version because I used to play it a lot when I was a kid. Like, you remember those big chunky Game Boys where you could actually see
Oh,
through the case
yeah.
and stuff?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I used to play it on that, although not DX, obviously, because that was not
Right.
Game Boy Color.
Hmm.
I got through. This is also a good example of my addiction. I got through about an hour and a half of playing this. Got through a few dungeons, and then I decided, no, I want to go play Binding of Isaac again. Because I'm terrible like that. I am a horrible person. Yeah. But actually, the one I want to talk about mostly is the new playable teaser, the PT for
Ooh.
Silent Hill. Because that thing, so pretty. So gorgeous.
Is it?
Looked like
I've only seen a hallway.
it's
Again and again and again.
well, yeah, but it's creepy as fuck, and it just looks pretty. You know, it looks like a real place. Like, it looks real. Like someone has literally got a camera and they are walking through these hallways, and it is happening in front of you, which makes it a bit more realistic for the jump scares, I think. You know,
I'd be interested to hear more about that when we talk about
yeah,
PT
so
and
I
the
was-
Silent
I was-
Hills game later. You've also been playing Crypt of the Necrodancer, though.
Yeah, they're so fun. Because have you not heard of Crypt of the Necrodancer?
Nope. But I love the idea of Necro Dancer.
It's awesome because it's I don't know, it's a little roguelike game where you are a girl or a guy or whatever you want to play as, and you're down underground and you are fighting off monsters and trying to get to the next floor and beat the bosses eventually, but you have to move and kill things to the beat of the music as it's happening, picking up things as you're going along. It's really, really addictive. It's still an alpha stage at the moment. Excuse me.
That
But
sounds like
it's-
a good time.
it's-
Also sounds like I would suck horribly at it.
A lot of fun. If you're not very good at rhythm games, yeah, you suck. So just feel it.
Throwing some shade in the first episode. Damn.
Yeah.
It's okay. I've never been good at rhythm games.
So, I'm sorry I offended you. No.
My
but-
offensiveness is big. Yeah, I'm offended.
It's
I'm sad now.
But no, it's really, really addictive. It's very visually pretty. The music is amazing. After playing it for a good maybe few hours, you start to do other things in time with the music because the music is still going on in your head. You could be scrolling through something on the internet, and you would find yourself doing it to the beat of the music you've just been playing because it's really addictive.
This
You can-
only makes me think of the final confrontation between the Chosen One and Betty.
Yeah.
Betty, yeah.
Oh, Black Betty, down now. Oh,
Yeah.
Black Betty.
Down.
You could put that song on there and do that though. You can you can get MP3s on your computer and replace music in there with your MP3s.
That's amazing.
Yes.
And it actually recognizes where the beats are as well, so you still have to do things to the beat of your own music.
That's tough. I give those programmers a lot of credit for doing that.
That's pretty good, and I would just upload the Kung Pao soundtrack to it at that point, though.
Yes. Tell me if you see a Radio Shack. Yeah,
Miles is like, she's going to fit in well here.
I would highly recommend playing that. Like, fucking, you Americans got it for cheaper than us Europeans. I'm just gonna say this right now. It pisses me off. Because it's $14 or $14.99, whatever it is, in dollars.
It's a pretty standard price for...
We get it over here, and it's goddamn, like, $10.99 in, like, pounds.
Well,
And
don't use pound sterling then.
Yes, pounds sterling.
Use
And
American dollars.
We can't use that because
I know.
I go through British currency on Steam, so like I end up paying more than that. So it's not fair.
You got to
It's like,
take it up with Gabe Newell.
Yeah, motherfucking, don't charge us more for our goddamn games and give us Half-Life 3 already.
At least you have a computer.
Oh.
I have a laptop actually, but you know.
Well, I mean, at this point, I'm using my roommate's laptop in a different roommate's room. The only thing that's mine is the microphone.
Oh. It's a good microphone, though.
It is a good microphone. I just wish the internet was working right now. For those who don't know, my internet is not working. Why I'm on Skype? No one really knows.
It's a mystery to everyone.
Skype too strong.
My section is really small. I've only had one game that I've been playing, and it was yesterday, because I'm like, I probably should play a game when I'm on my video game podcast tomorrow. Can't just say, like, I haven't been playing games. So,
I thought you played some Wolf Among Us and stuff though.
that was a couple weeks ago. We did cover that on the last episode. Loved Wolf Among Us. Great game. Do play Wolf Among Us. But played about 4 hours of Tales of the Abyss.
Yeah.
Got back to that, doing co-op with Solid Snake 120. So I'm going to say words that if you've played through the game, you understand, and if not, it doesn't make any sense. So about 10 hours into the game, we are in the mines of Axariuth, and there's the miasma that
Yes.
is the affliction that is happening
Yes.
there. So we're at that part of the
Miasma?
game.
You're on that part of the game.
Yes. With Axariuth and the miasma.
You stopped there?
Well, yeah, because we had to get food. We were craving some B-dubs, you know? So when we pick it
I
back...
feel the same way. How could you give up a game to go to B-dubs?
No, that's not what. Okay.
Miles, you see, we needed motivation to pick up the game again and not wait for 3 more months. So we're like, this is going to be a good part. We'll pick it back up.
Okay.
Make sense? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Got it.
What's wrong, Miles?
Nothing is wrong.
I think I broke him.
You just need to play a video game.
Think I'm doing it wrong.
Pete, it's my first time here, and you've already broken someone else. What?
It's what I do.
scared. I'm scared for my life.
He's not the one who's broken me. Solid Snake 120 is the guy who's done it.
Yes. Yes, Scott. What have you done? Scott, clearly.
It's his fault.
Clearly.
Scott.
What have you done?
Anyone who knows this video game knows why I'm pissed at Scott.
Act zero, youth. Okay, so Super Smash Brothers for Wii U and 3DS. It's a big game for our community. We started as a Super Smash Brothers Brawl podcast back in the day in 2007. We still go on today. When Smash News happens, we talk about Smash News, and when they're showing updates on the Smash Brothers website, we like to talk about those. So it's been a little while, and gosh, a couple days after our last show, they revealed Meta Knight.
Yep.
So that's the big news. He looks pretty similar.
Yep.
There's a difference with his up B with the shuttle loop.
Shuttle loop because they've taken away the gliding mechanics in this game. So now it's just more of a kill move than it was before.
Well, hopefully not as much knockback as before, but, you know.
We'll see.
This is a bit of a different one for me, because, like, you know, I don't have a 3DS, and I don't have a Wii U, so, you know, I find it more difficult to keep up with what's going on for the brawly things. But, you know, I do have a look at the news now and then. And the first thing I noticed when, I mean, you were showing me, actually, some of these clips and stuff, like, people have more than one super move.
Yeah.
In Smash now, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, the different special moves with customizable moves. It's pretty crazy. It's going to change the game.
But when I last played Brawl, they only had the one, and I was fine with that. And I was like, I can't cope.
Well, they will have a default.
Yeah.
So if you do not like to play that way, you'll have, you know, a moveset that you'll stick to. But they've added all this customization in this new version, which comes out in America on October 3rd for 3DS, and they still haven't announced the release date for the Wii U version, but it's going to be before the end of this year, so probably holiday season before our Thanksgiving. But they add this customization, so there's that if you want to play with it. If you don't want to bother with that, then you can still play the normal way.
I really, really hope that the customizations are at least balanced enough to not... I want customizations in tournament. I need customizations in tournament because this game does not look like it's going to be fast enough to carry itself.
Yeah.
It's like, against Project M, I don't feel like this is going to do as much as it could. Especially
Well, I
following
have a
Brawl's
question for
problem.
you, actually.
Yes.
Because you play Project M on a professional
Yes,
level.
I do.
When it comes to the new Super Smash Bros. Coming out, does that mean that you're going to have to, like, take some time to learn, like, all these new things that are coming out with this new game, and then you're going to be starting to play that professionally as well? Or?
Yes. I often considered, like, I wouldn't return to the slower pace of Brawl, but, because that's what Smash 4 is looking like entirely. But I was looking into it, I'm just like, this is the Smash I can play on 3DS, and it's functionally going to be very similar to the Wii U version. So I can just play Smash on the go on my 3DS, and then go to a Wii U tournament and rock socks off people. So
It's a big draw.
yeah, and the hugest draw is the fact that there's the two versions of it, and the fact that Rob Joe moved in and I have a Wii U now, so it's actually a possibility for me to actually play the Wii U version
Huzzah.
as well.
So can
And,
people, like, do
it's-
this thing with Street Pass?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, they haven't really talked about what the Street Pass features will be for the game. There's definitely going to be online play for sure, but there's still some things with the game that they have to reveal, like Street Pass. Wouldn't surprise me if maybe there's Amiibo data. I wonder if that's going to be a thing.
Right.
With
One thing
Spot
about
Pass,
Amiibo, I'm kind of excited to look into the Amiibo these days, because it's like they said it's like it can learn your habits, and I'm like, that sounds like a great thing. If you can get a computerized AI that's geared to learning your habits, I can totally get into that. The only thing I don't like about it is I hope that it doesn't, like, change its base stats.
Right.
I hope you can change it so it, like, oh, it can get like really good. Like if it hits you, you go flying. I'm like, no, I want it to be the base character. I just want the AI to improve.
And Amiibo, for those that don't know, it's going to be a Disney Infinity-like or Skylanders-like little statue that you connect with your game. And essentially it's going to level up and grow with you. Kind of like if you don't have friends, this can be your friend that you play Smash with locally.
What was that?
It's like going beyond the computer character.
That noise that you just made.
I didn't make noises. No noises over here. No.
You're worrying me, Miles.
I worry myself.
You're starting to crack under the pressure. So Sakurai was a tease and showed Meta Knight's mask on a Mii, because Miis are also part of this whole customization bit. He showed Meta Knight's mask on a Mii a couple days before he revealed him, so it's kind of like, okay, so Meta Knight's in this game, right? Okay, alright, so we see Meta Knight. We see the special flag from Namco, because Namco is co-developing on the game.
Yep.
And that gives you like an extra score, an extra stock in a stock match, so broken item, essentially.
As long as you hold it up long enough, which means people have to leave you alone long enough.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an interesting item, I suppose. The only winning move is not to use it.
We see an alternate costume for Zero Suit Samus.
This is awesome.
It is really good. Not just being from the male perspective, of course, but it's coming from the Metroid Zero mission at the end. Samus has always kind of had these skimpier outfits as, completion bonuses for the different Metroid games. And I found it funny how Sakurai worded this. He says, looking at the number of days we have left for development, it would be an impossible task to create this. That's what I told my staff. But thanks to the determination of a female designer, these Zero Suit outfits got completed in time. From the ending of Metroid Zero mission, Samus in shorts, and she also has it on the 3DS version as well. So not just the full Zero Suit, you get kind of the shorts and top look for Zero Suit Samus.
Short. What the hell? I've only just seen this.
Yeah?
Okay.
You kind of see now why Sakurai had to put that it's... Well, a female designer designed this, guys.
Yeah. And
She got some thighs, man.
Yep.
Just a bounty hunter.
Yeah. What's kind of fun about this is that I immediately saw pictures of her and Wii Fit Trainer as Team Midriff.
That's right. Team Midriff, and then there was a comic I saw where like they were teasing some other character about it. Oh. I'm trying to remember, and I can't pull that off at the top of my head. Girahim, the villain from The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword on Wii, is an assist trophy.
What a sad thing. He was such an interesting character.
Yeah.
It was also very disturbing, in my opinion.
Yep.
Yes.
That tongue.
Yes.
It's like, let me lick my lips in front of you.
It was also interesting that this was the image that was there because we'll talk about the leak that happened, but people were waiting for one more update before we'd go on a weekend of none of these updates, community speculation and whatnot. And the update was 2 hours late, so we got a My Music update, essentially. We now know some music samples from the 3DS game, including a multi-man melee. We get the Pokemon X and Y battle theme and the Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks theme. They have samples on their website now for the game. But it was just this Girahim image, just basically when you were trying to refresh the page, right? Sakurai, you're late with this update. And Girahim's there just blah, tongue out. Blah. So check those out at smashbros.com for the new samples. Of course, with they also showed a composer list, and this is now that time, like what happened with Super Smash Bros. Brawl, where people are seeing the list of composers, and they are just making the worst assumptions based on the games that they have worked on previously, or what they're credited for. So, a couple composers have worked on Idolmaster, and they're credited with that. So people are like, Idolmaster and Smash Brothers? What is this? And it's just bad assumptions.
It is a suitable comparison for people that are also not into, well, not into, but not as savvy with Super Smash Bros. As me. Compare it as Heath Ledger when he first was going towards being the Joker. People were looking at him thinking, oh, that guy from that movie where he was like, oh, he's just a normal guy, and he can't play the Joker, and then suddenly, oh my god, no one else can play the Joker because he did it that amazingly, sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Sounds about right.
Yeah, that's a comparison that you can make, I suppose.
Last episode on Show Me News a couple weeks ago, we were saying, we're about a month out from, getting the roster. So we tried to make, some predictions, and I casually threw in there that, there's this, leak out there that Duck Hunt Dog and Bowser Jr., and I don't know if I believe that. Well, this is called the Ninka leak, or the Ninka and Vanrose leak, and didn't give it that much credit at first, but now some developments have happened, and I think it's time to revisit this. What the Ninka leak essentially was those that were hacking Super Smash Bros. Brawl had these costumes essentially ready for distribution that looked very similar to Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS costumes before those costumes were revealed at E3. So people were like, how do you know this early? Well, these people also had the same kind of information saying, and let me get to the one that's more often not shared. So the news was apparently, according to this leak that was done a couple weeks ago from today, that Snake, Lucas, Ice Climbers, and Wolf are cut. That Dr. Mario was back as a clone. So was Dark Pit, that he's back as a clone. Each character getting 8 alternate costumes, whether they're palette swaps or new costumes. For Olimar, you have Pikmin 3 and the main character of Alf in that game. We also have Brittany and Charlie, but Alf was the stand-up. Apparently, Alf is 4 of Olimar's costumes, as the other 4 were Olimar's. Shulk from Xenoblade Chronicles, or just Xenoblade, depending on which region you're in. He'll be playable with Gour Plains as his stage. His neutral B changes his Monado, the sword. Changes the mode, essentially makes him deal more damage, take more, or do less damage, take less. Changes the style that he plays in with his sword. Bowser Jr. appears as a newcomer and fights in the Koopa Copter, the clown car, essentially. He has no alternate costumes, but apparently has the 7 Koopalings as alts.
I'd be interested to play as Bowser Jr., actually.
Yeah.
I just want to go around saying, Mama Peach! Mama Peach, play my mama!
Mama Peach!
Start beating your mom like a petulant child.
Oh, God.
And apparently, Duck Hunt is in as the Duck Hunt dog fighting with ducks on his back who assist for certain attacks. So this was out a couple weeks ago, and we're just like, oh, okay, I don't know about this, but it's interesting to know. Well, we got a big leak.
I can think of a good super for that, actually, where if you're the Duck Hunt dog, you go off the screen, and then you can control it with your remote. Like, you point the remote at the screen, and you have the gun from Duck Hunt, and you shoot people with it. That would be so cool.
But here's one more addition. You gotta have the...
Yeah.
You gotta do the little laugh.
If you shoot the other opponents and they get killed, they don't return until the end of the final smash, where he just comes up with with them in his hand and he just laughs.
The original leak, as the guy who is sitting in twitch.tv/showmenews chat says that fought him from a Mario Kart. After further probing, it was deduced that he means from a copter, the clown car copter, which is supported in the visual evidence in this leak. We do see Duck Hunt Dog with an impressive render. We do see Shulk there with a pretty impressive render. He's the one next to Meta Knight here. We see Dr. Mario, again, with a pretty good render. We see Bowser Jr., and that little green part at the bottom here is going to be the sort of rim of the copter car. And so essentially there were 3 leakers here showing off. We even see a character select screen here. So when this happened, it was, it was Wednesday, late Wednesday, going into early Thursday for this past week. And so when this hit, I was reading Smashboards, NeoGAF. I was trying to kind of piece this together. People were trying to say, is this real? Is this not real? Hashtag team real. Hashtag team fake. Apparently there's a story.
Team Edward.
not Team Edward.
Hashtag Team PM.
Team PM, you got that too. There's a story here from what I've gathered. And I may be a little inaccurate here, so apologies if that is the case. But we are a couple weeks out from Super Smash Bros. For 3DS out in Japan. And so ESRB, the ratings board here, is starting to get videos sent to them for approval for ratings. Now, ESRB cannot play all of the games that they get for ratings for the American rating system. There's PEGI for the PAL regions.
Yes.
PEGI 12.
PEGI 18. Hey, everyone.
Yes, so apparently what happened here is that ESRB received a video. And there is a source, whether he works at ESRB, had access to this, took some pictures of the video as far as what has been gathered from those that have come out and said, that's right, Darkrai says Seiro for Japan is their rating system. Regardless, apparently some screenshots, photo snaps were taken of this video that is meant for the ESRB. The person who took these shots shared it amongst a group of friends, whether it was about 10 or so folks. Some people from the Brawl modding community, some from the PM community, some Smashboards connections, some otherwise. 3 different leakers were dumb enough, or thankful enough that they shared this with us, but 3 different leakers went and leaked this in different locations, whether it was GameFAQs, whether it was 4chan, or other places like this. The ESRB name in the video, it's ESRB0083, so could be a way to track it back to its source. It's possible. There's all sorts of legalese here, as would be with a leak.
Yeah.
But the big thing here is that 3 of these people in this group that was privy to the information leaked it. That's not a good thing for Nintendo, and it's some issues that people were having trying to, knock this down. Master Link X, longtime friend of the show, is apparently involved in this and was trying to debunk this a little bit. Trying to say like, oh, I made this in 50 hours on Photoshop with this shulk render, or they tried to change a word that says disabled to say disabled with an A instead of an E. They're trying to do these cover-up things, but essentially admitted to it, saying that this leak is supposedly real, but there are still more characters that were not shown. As in saying that this character select screen that we see here is not complete. People were saying, where is the Miis? You have the Mii fighters that are supposed to be there. Well, customization is off. You won't be seeing the Mii fighters there. So if you add Miis as another character, that means there would probably be 4 more characters to fill out a full screen. Now there's talk that apparently that DLC is on the way. This has more or less been debunked, which is unfortunate, because this person says that DLC is Lucas, Wolf, Ice Climbers, Snake. Kind of sounds like those 4 characters that were apparently cut from that Ninka leak, and Chorus Men from Rhythm Heaven Fever.
Can I bring up something very quickly?
Certainly. I'm sorry. I don't want to be talking. Go ahead.
That's okay. I just want to bring up one thing, and this is probably just because I'm one of those people that doesn't have all the latest gen consoles and stuff like that. I think this has been brought up by other people as well. I can't just shut up nowadays how when they bring out consoles and stuff. Sorry, the only reason I thought it's because of DLC. The consoles are never freaking ready to go. They never say, oh yeah, we're going to finish off the console completely so that they can just go straight away play games when it gets to them. No, you have to spend fucking 4 hours downloading shit before you can play games. And then before you can even play a game, hey, download this so that your game works. So before you even get to playing a game on your new console, which you bought, and they say, oh yeah, this is ready, you're not fucking ready. You're there waiting for about 5-6 hours before you can play a game.
I get that, but at the same time, it is a better alternative to have these updates than, not have the game patched at all. So, that's an also issue. Okay, yeah, we also have to take a little editing break here. Yeah, the audio quality is a little rough. So I don't know if you want to go off your stream, because you're trying to stream, I know. Yeah, forward them to the twitch.tv/showmeyournews.
No, a second. Audio problems.
Yeah.
Please.
I really hope this guy wasn't going this long right now.
We're gonna edit this out of the final podcast.
But if you are Show Me Your News Patreon, you get all of this.
That's right. Yeah. Patreon.com/showmeyournews.
Any better than that, Tom, or no?
A little better. I'm sure it'll get there once, I kind of...
Oh, a sec. Let's see if I can do anything else to help out. If I actually close down OBS. Is there anything else I can post?
I'm glad my neighbor stopped mowing his lawn now.
See, like, Pete's coming through fine. You're coming through quite bad quality for me as well, but...
It's a little rough. I mean, you're here by a miracle of Skype, so...
Yeah, that's true. That's pretty much all I can do besides closing my chat. There we go.
It sounds better now
Okay.
than what it was.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I just figure we address that now before it just continues on much longer.
Yeah. Shall I rage again? Retake! Oh, dear.
Yep. All right, ready? 3, 2...
Hold on.
Oh.
Oh. I need my Wawa.
What?
Aha.
Oh.
I was saying it sounded like almost body pops there, just...
Yeah, I'm just gonna like... Ow.
Just pop my arm back into place. There we go.
Please dislocate my joints. Okay, I'm good.
All right, ready? And 3, 2, 1. But I think that is the argument for DLC. But apparently this DLC part of this leak that Leaker1 posted has been sort of found to be fabricated. Though there are 4 other characters that could take their place and would explain an incomplete character select screen. It would explain some more things. And this all goes back to that Ninka leak. How about that? So this part is not confirmed. This is all part of the speculation that was not leaked.
Rumor-filled gossip?
Hey, rumor-filled gossip. It's all part of our tagline. So to confirm, it would appear that Duck Hunt Dog, Bowser Jr., Dark Pit, Dr. Mario, and Shulk are indeed confirmed for Super Smash Bros. For 3DS and Wii U based on these leaks. You do have some of the stage selects as well there. What appeared to be a lot of bringing things back from Brawl. Green Hill Zone, Picto Chat, Yoshi's Island, Flat Zone 2, just to name a few. So we're not sure if this is all the stages, if there are multiple pages, but a lot of different additions there. But the 4 characters, here we go. The 4 characters that apparently would be included from this Ninka leak. And it's pretty hard to believe this, so this is still speculation. Dixie Kong, Chorus Men from Rhythm Heaven Fever, Mewtwo, and Ridley.
I miss Ridley.
I
I really do miss Mewtwo.
Mm-hmm. I'm hesitant on Ridley because it's a big thing for American Smash fans, which the Japanese don't seem to understand. It's just like a big difference of opinion. But if Ridley is in this game, best roster, any roster. So
I mean, looking at how many characters we have already to add another 4, especially characters like Dixie Kong and Ridley, it's very strange, but it doesn't seem like it'd be a nightmare roster at all. It's more of that's a fair roster.
I agree with you. And I think, in the sense of the nightmare roster, which is referencing in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, where we got this list of a roster and we're like, well, we don't like this at all. Like, what is this? And it's a nightmare roster. And the same kind of thing happened with Super Smash Bros. Melee. It had this feeling with this leak of, this is legit. Like, it's close enough to the release. It has that feeling of, this could be that nightmare roster kind of feel. And you had the people trying to knock it down vehemently because they didn't like this, that, and the other thing. It had that feel, though. And it feels pretty legit.
It sounds like you've got the feels too, jeez.
I'm pretty happy with it.
I was at first like, why would you even do this? Then I started looking more into Pac-Man and seeing how he has all these celebration moves, where he just all these old Namco things that aren't particularly Pac-Man, but they're very much Namco-esque. So I'm thinking that Duck Hunt Dog is going to be more based around that idea, and that he's more of a celebration of older type NES and probably Super Nintendo kind of things. Stuff from Nintendo's history. I could see that working really well with Duck Hunt Dog.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and just, you can't be angry at this roster. It's a big roster.
Yes.
I mean, that's the biggest thing to take away from this. I mean, let's see. With, 3, 6, 9. You'd have, spaces for 54. So technically 53 characters. Removing the random box. That's incredible. Over, 35 from Brawl?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't hate the roster. It's going to have some interesting additions to it. I can't wait to see how Duck Hunt Dog plays. But
I'd be interested to like play as Ridley, but I feel like I should play the Metroid games first. I haven't actually picked up a Metroid game in my life.
you should do. That's a lot of fun.
I should. Oops.
Super Metroid there with your computer can definitely play that on. Oop, I'm coughing, pirate. Yes.
Well, actually, if you just grab a code and load up some Super Smash Bros. Brawl, you can just go and play the whole title on your Super Smash Bros. Brawl.
That's true.
That's true.
A lot of people are disappointed about Ice Climbers being removed. It's not surprising in a way, especially on 3DS. It causes, can you imagine 4 Ice Climbers, so 8 characters throwing the ice? It probably suffers a lot in performance.
I'm quite happy that they're gone. I never really liked playing as the Ice Climbers.
There's huge
Good
problems
guy.
in competitive games as well. They're just infinites.
Yeah.
Were they?
They're
Hold on.
infinite to character.
I have a question. Were the Ice Climbers were they a partner, like boyfriend girlfriend thing? Or were they brother and sister?
No one really knows.
Yeah.
So
It isn't really
I usually just
specified.
say both.
Oh God, no! This is wrong. This is like the Lannisters meets the Ice Climbers. That's wrong.
It's tough when all you do is just, climb mountains and collect fruits and your polar bears and topies and
Ice Climbers were the first people to do the Ice Bucket Challenge.
And that's why we're sick of them.
Exactly. So that's the big leak that's out there. I'm sure in a couple of weeks we're going to hear more, and it really is going to take, some confirmations of official images. There was an issue with a Tomodachi Life stage where the leak came out first, then we saw some official screens from the Japanese gaming magazine Famitsu, and we saw a room in there that we had not seen in any previous images, which helped lend credence to the fact that this leak is probably real. Once we see some sort of image from Sakurai on the official page itself, it's going to really clear up a lot of things to see whether, the models are legit or there's something fishy there.
Give us more reveal videos, Sakurai. Give us
Let's
more.
do that. Let's do that. Absolutely. Just Duck Hunt Dog comes up.
Also, I just want to suggest that after seeing the whole Link versus Pit video, the whole anime thing, oh my God, that animation looks so pretty. I want them to make a Legend of Zelda anime with that. It's
Yeah.
so nice.
And it's interesting you bring that up because that was at the end of the trailer where Lady Palutena was referencing Dark Pit.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's why
now if Dark Pit's playable,
And he's
Crazy.
cute too. For us lady fans that like to play the games, we like a good-looking Smash people to play.
that's true.
as.
This roster is very female friendly, and I think that's
Not for frickin' Ridley, it isn't.
well, not for Ridley, no.
What if
Unless
it's
there's like an
Yeah,
alternate
that'd be a purple
costume.
dragon
a nice,
skeleton.
suave Ridley wearing a top hat and a petticoat.
I would say you could also get a Ridley in a dress as an alternate costume. You never know. You never know.
Cross-dressing Ridley. Drag queen Ridley.
Not outside the realm of possibility.
Sakurai.
That's Sakurai, though.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Gamescom, we have several stories to run through here because it's the big European E3, essentially the big games conference that is open to the public, whereas it's an industry-only event here in America with E3. It starts with the big announcement that Microsoft made that Rise of the Tomb Raider, which is the sequel to the Tomb Raider 2013 reboot, coming out this holiday 2015, so not this holiday, but the next one, and is going to be an Xbox exclusive.
And people are
Kind
pissed
of.
about it.
They are pissed about it, but then you have more talking and more elaboration, and exclusive doesn't mean too much anymore because it's exclusive for a time.
Yeah.
Essentially, Microsoft wanted something to compete against Uncharted, which Sony will have on PlayStation, Uncharted 4: A Thief's End, coming out that same time, and they want a game to compete against that. So they throw some money Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics way and say that for the holiday it'll be exclusive on Xbox One.
I'm sorry, now I can just imagine if someone literally just throwing some money. It's like it's not even held together, so it all just just explodes. Everyone's like,
Yeah.
take my money.
Take my money and give me game now, please. Thank you.
I like turtles.
I like turtles.
Speaking of that movie, I hear it sucks. Moving on.
Yep. Yep. TMNT. Not so good.
Yeah, I'm not interested in seeing that. No, just.
I don't know how we can do a segue from turtles to like shells to talking about
Because
new.
there's really slow.
Oh wait, it is slow, and I got it. Shells on turtles. New colors of Xbox One. New bundles coming out later this year.
You should just give up this metaphor.
Yeah, that wasn't a good segue.
I think it's pretty legit. But Microsoft will have Xbox One be the first console to ship with a 1 terabyte hard drive. They're doing a Call of Duty Advanced Warfare bundle with a black and sort of slate gray color. They're doing a white Xbox One with Sunset Overdrive when that game comes out. Bundles, still the same. So $500 in the US, 500 euros, 429 pounds. So because it comes with the game and a bigger hard drive, so they're trying to save value, I guess. I don't think we've really heard necessarily of the Destiny bundle for PlayStation. I think they've been mum on that for PlayStation 4. Probably still gonna be the whole 500 gigabytes. But Microsoft can save that for the first, and so we move on
That's
from
another
that.
reason I don't buy next gen consoles. They cost a bloody arm and a leg. I would have to go and sell myself to the black market to afford these freaking
You
things.
wouldn't need to go that far, just to a street corner, really.
Oh yeah, true. But I'd rather not do that.
No, I wouldn't see why you want to go to the black market either.
That's true. I wouldn't rather do either of them. And for that money, I can go to America and back. Just put it that way.
That's
I'd rather
true.
go on holiday than get a new console. I'm getting old.
That is super
You know
true.
Americans with the consoles already, so I mean, at that point, you just same experience.
You killed two birds with one stone there. I mean, they also have struggled to put out a lot of good exclusive games to make the value totally worth it yet. They're gonna get there once 2015 rolls around. But no, I agree with you. It's too expensive right now, and yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
I think it was really dumb that Microsoft and Sony brought up the PS4 and the Microsoft Xbox One already. There's just no reason to have either one right now.
That's true, especially when you do have game developers who are kind of lagging a bit behind. They're whetting their appetites with the big share of the market that Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 has. They see money, so they still try to make games that are either versions that are on that console or games that are just for that console. You're seeing the new Borderlands game just for 360 and PS3, and they're looking at that size of audience.
It's a pretty good thing, considering that there's not too many big name titles coming out for those anymore, because everyone was forced to go to the next gen.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like, hey, we'll just use our old resources, make up a new game, and eat up with that market that's not paying $500,000 for a new console.
Yeah, you just sort of if you're one of those people that bought a PS4 or PS3, God forbid you're still playing one of those ones, then the only thing you really have to look forward to every month is if you have PS Plus, then you can get those other games to download for your PS3, 4, Vita, and this will make up for us not bringing up new games every now and again, guys. It's cool.
I think
it's
the worst
okay,
part
let's
is
you have these.
I think the worst part is they have these consoles that are out for $500,000, and they don't even have the features that they said they would come out with. You have to wait
And
till...
they don't make it finished! Again with the downloading things before you can even play it. I'm just gonna shut up here.
It's been almost a year, and we are just now getting the share play and YouTube video export that they said was coming with PS4. Now
Absolutely.
we're
It's coming this
finally
fall. It's not even coming now. It's coming later this fall in a big update.
So bad. Back in the days of N64 and the Nintendo Entertainment System and even the freaking Mega Drives and stuff like that, or Master Systems, whatever you guys call it over there. We call it different
Genesis
things.
does.
Genesis, that's it. It was the second Mega Drive here instead of a Genesis. But,
Yes,
they would come complete. No need to download new things. No need to put extra things into your console.
I wouldn't bring up the Mega Drive as something that was shipped complete.
Okay, well, just leave that one out.
Let's
Let's go to Nintendo 64 and PS1.
Sega modem, we had the Mega Drive and the 32X.
CD.
And, yeah.
Okay. Sega's a bad example. Let's go with Sony instead. So PS1, PS2, a lot better, You don't need to do 1,000,001 updates to play a fucking game and do that. Even GameCube wasn't that bad. You don't need to download fucking 5 hours worth of updates and download an update for every game or pay for damn DLC.
But then some games weren't complete. They had, bad bugs, and they'd have to release all new discs instead of updating the ones. It's a trade-off. It's a trade-off.
Fun.
Honestly, when it came to phone finish games and bad bugs, most of the bugs help finish the game faster.
That's true. Missing no? Missing no. Yeah, as you're saying though, the version 2 update of PlayStation 4, with the share play and the YouTube video export, because they do like to share and capture the videos. But share play is in a way a bit restricted. You have to be in a game and have a friend come in to say, help you finish a part, or even have them give a little time trial of the game. Unfortunately, I believe it's excluded to only an hour of play.
What?
So you can't just say, play my game for free. I'll just be connected and you can, play, whatever. And it's using the whole downloadable streaming play technology that they have. But I believe you're only limited to about an hour, for a play session.
Do they have like a cooldown time after that then, or something?
I have no idea.
Probably.
So
but
otherwise you just sort of keep connecting until they complete the game.
That's true. No, that's true. I mean, sure there are ways around it, but
Bathroom break.
yeah. So yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Now let's talk about PT, the playable teaser, because that was announced during Sony's conference. Which I'll also point out, Sony announced they've sold through 10 million PlayStation 4s. That's incredible. It's the fastest selling console so far to date. Really, really amazing. The playable teaser, though, for what it will be Silent Hills, a mashup of Hideo Kojima and Guillermo del Toro, working on a new Silent Hill game with Norman Reedus from the Walking Dead TV series as the star. It was really
very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, squeeing. Oh, we got our first squee.
Yes, we do.
I love Norman Reedus. He's so nice. Sorry. Continue.
So during this Sony conference, they revealed this PT playable teaser with different screaming reactions. Kind of dumbed down the visuals a little bit because this will be on Fox Engine, a gorgeous engine that Metal Gear Solid 5 runs. They wanted to give it an indie sort of appearance at first before they revealed the curtain that these two media behemoths are going to be working on this game. So, Rachel, you played PT.
It's good.
Your thoughts on it?
It's scary. It's something. It starts off with you're just going through a corridor and this place kind of nice. It's not too bad. It's a bit messy. We could do with a cleaner. Where it's Consuela. She is not here. But
No.
Mia, no, clean up your house. It's really gorgeous because it doesn't look like you're in a video game. It looks like someone has literally gone down this corridor with a video camera and videotaped this place. It looks really realistic and nice. But it's really freaky though, because you end up going through a doorway, and you end up back in the same hallway, and you're like, oh, what the fuck? And it's 1 minute to midnight, like all the time. What is this? And yeah, it's just stuck in this time and loop or whatever. So I thought, oh, does that mean if it's still on 11:59 that you can't get to the next room or you can't go outside? And then eventually things just start changing as you go through the hallway again and again. And, they genuinely make you feel pretty freaked out. There are points where I just don't want to be near the screen when a door opens ever so slightly, or when, the door closes in front of you, which you're just about to go through, and you're like, shit, what's about to happen? What is going on with my life? Why am I doing this to myself?
There's a couple times where I was just watching the Game Grumps play through it, and there are some times where I was almost yelling at the screen, like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And then I read up in the comments that it's like, oh, you have to stare at this cracked door for 2 minutes before something happens.
Oh, see, I watched PewDiePie play it first.
And I'm like, Kojima, really? That is such a Kojima design. I even played Metal Gears, and I'm like, this screams Kojima.
But PewDiePie played it first. He didn't play it first. He probably played it after someone else. So I watched him play it first, and I'm one of those weird people that does like PewDiePie and stuff. But He didn't even have to look at it that long, and you just looked at the crack in the door, and then suddenly the fucking woman was there, closing the door in your face. And you're like, hey, okay, I just wanted to see what was going on. Excuse me for looking at your weird fucking baby with the twerking tits. Seriously.
I've heard there's a lot of random design elements, and it's, you know, kind of a game that's not meant to be just played on your own. Like, you're supposed to get information from other people. Kind of more of a social game experience. Though I think this is...
I wanted that baby to start singing, hello, my baby, hello, my honey, hello, my
That would be amazing. Someone needs to make that. Someone needs to get a picture of that weird baby with no face and the twerking boobies and put a little top hat on him and give him a cane.
Turn it down for what?
Oh, God. Oh, my God, that is...
Sorry, Kojima, I just ruined your whole PT design with that.
I'm mega happy that the Japanese are getting their hands back on Silent Hill, though.
Yeah,
mega
absolutely.
happy with that. Fucking, don't get me wrong, I've played Homecoming and stuff like that, and it's nice and entertaining while you're playing it, but it's just not the same as when the Japanese get their hands on thriller games and make you want to pee your pants and just, you know, Jesus, it's just...
But Kojima apparently wants you to shit your pants. Actual quote. So, it's going to be very interesting.
Brown on that day.
Yeah. Another interesting bit of news is that Sierra is coming back. The label known for classic PC games. And that means a new King's Quest is in the works.
I love King's Quest so much. I used to play these games when I was a kid. I just love them. Ever since King's Quest 2. Sorry, I went on.
I have no strong feelings one way or the other.
You suck. I hate you.
My computer probably could play Sierra games now that I think about it, but
freaking
I never.
Just
never
go into
really
DOS.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're also doing a new Geometry Wars game, which if you played Xbox 360, there are more of those games. That's coming, I believe, next year. Not this year, but next year. So, King's Quest is back. How about that?
Quick thing. Did anyone watch the King's Quest playthrough with the Game Grumps?
I've seen bits and pieces of both of them, but not the whole thing.
Okay. Well, at the ending of the one they played through most recently, I can't remember which King's Quest it was actually. Is it 6? Anyway. Yeah, I think so. And right at the end with the credits, they have this like weird 80s/90s love theme song going on. I'm like, please don't bring that in the next King's Quest. Yeah,
why not? That'd be great.
Do it now.
And I'm like, oh my God, no. Why have you just ruined my ears? Go back to the good old days where I could type a swear word for my character to say and then get told off by the game for trying to make a swear. Poopy dick. Can't do it. And turning people into cats. That was always amusing.
BioWare, known for the Mass Effect series and other RPGs, you know, Dragon Age, Knights of the Old Republic. BioWare in Austin, their studio there, is working on an online role-playing game that's more action-based. It's called Shadow Realms. There's a trailer. Just thought it'd be worth a mention because...
Isn't that a D&D thing?
It's hard to say. It's more 4 versus 1 gameplay. You have to fight against the Shadow Lord. So it kind of sounds like taking some design inspiration from Evolve in a little bit.
It also sounds like it's taking names from Jackie Chan Adventures.
Or Yu-Gi-Oh!
Right? That's right, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the one I was thinking of.
Enter the Shadow Realm.
Getting your blue eyes white dragon out. That's how you do it.
Yugi boy. And speaking of Kojima and Metal Gear, Metal Gear Solid 5 coming to PC.
Yep.
Yay!
Along with Ground Zeroes coming to Steam. So that's big news. Not surprising.
I love that.
It's not surprising considering what, you know, Fox Engine can do with its versatility. And, you know, Konami does want to make more money. But unfortunately that news was leaked a little bit early. The web team kind of put up the news before it was revealed during a question and answer session with Game Trailers' Jeff Keighley. But that's big. That's really exciting, and I'm sure people can spec it up even more and make the game look even better than it already can.
I mean, for people like me that go on Steam more than anything else, yeah, I'm happy with this.
No time for our Hilarity of the Week segment, which we'd usually talk about just, you know, a very bizarre sort of section. But with the leak and all the Gamescom stuff, we go straight to some few more games in our story pool that did not make the cut. the Pokemon trading card game is coming to iPad, specifically iOS.
And that's an interesting step for Nintendo.
It really is. They've done a Pokédex app, specifically, official and whatnot on iOS.
Why don't I know of this?
Because it's expensive and it's a lot of money to unlock all these different regions. All right, I can tell you about it. I mean, you search Pokédex. Let's see what it's actually called here as I fetch my phone. But it was like $24 to unlock all the regions because it starts with Unova, which is the Gen 5 black and white Pokédex. All of those are unlocked. But then you have to buy the 4 previous generations, and they haven't made an update for the 6th X and Y generation. So it's a little incomplete, but it looks good.
There's Pokédexes you can get for free, but that's obviously not going to be it.
Right. And this one's, official and has more information. But bringing the trading card game as a game kind of goes and sees, like, they're seeing the Hearthstone success that Blizzard is having with their card game in a video game type of form. And, the trading card game is long since passed when I stopped playing it, which was around, oh gosh, Gold and Silver I really didn't even get into. But all those before, the Game Boy game, the Game Boy sequel, which is Japan only, did not play that. But, gosh, you can even go back and say Base, Jungle, Fossil, Base 2, the Gym Leaders, Rockets.
I never got as far as the Rockets.
Man, all of that stuff was good times. But yeah, so that's happening. More Pokemon news. And it's stunning or shocking Pokemon news coming this Tuesday. It's going to be a big deal in the sense that you're going to have the head of the Pokemon company with some voice actors. Someone from Famitsu is hosting. A fashion model is going to be there, and it's going to be broadcasted on Nico Nico, which is the Japanese kind of equivalent of YouTube.
Yes.
I believe the time, if I'm reading this right, August 26th, which is a Tuesday at 22 o'clock. In Japan time, I think that's 9 a.m. Eastern. So probably in the morning of Tuesday, we're going to get apparently a shogeki, or shocking, stunning announcement. Any guesses?
The first thing that I think about when it
Pokemon
comes to Pokemon is a fashion model. What?
Yeah.
Well,
Pokemon Fighters.
Yeah. I could see Pokemon Fighters.
I want to see the fashion model dressed up as a Magikarp.
And she just flops around on the ground.
Magikarp, Magikarp.
Yeah, there is.
That would make it worth my while.
Now, why would you say Pokemon Fighters?
Because a shocking, stunning kind of, hey, this is Pokemon Fighters, and this is what you can do.
Now, Pokemon Fighters, those that don't know, there was a game video about a year or so ago, a little teaser at the end with a Lucario against a Blaziken, or maybe it's a Mega Lucario and Mega Blaziken.
Yep.
And they were kind of just in a fighting pose in a city, and just a little teaser. And they said, oh, it's not really, for necessarily saying a game is in the works, but it's just, a thought we have. And so Pokken, or Pokemon Fighters, has been used as a trademark. Like, it's been a renewed trademark. Yep. And so makes you think maybe Pokemon fighting game in the Tekken engine?
So kind of like a Street Fighter, but Pokemon thing.
Yeah, it would be interesting.
If we're thinking Tekken, can we have, like, the little dinosaur guy that was in the old Tekkens who used to fart on people?
Oh, hopefully.
Which Pokemon would do that? Like, get a Snorlax in there. And have Snorlax fart on people.
Snorlax would just roll around all the place. He'd go into a ball and just roll around the screen and just hit everything in his path.
Just broken.
I think another possibility, like, you can still hold out hope maybe for Pokemon Snap 2.
Let's play the first one.
Oh my gosh, the first one is amazing. Pokemon Snap 2 on Wii U. Pokemon Snap 2 on Wii U, you gotta do it. You gotta do it, Nintendo, come on. I'm gonna be a little more skeptical, though. I'm gonna say this is not going to be a big deal. Because Pokemon has had a history of saying these are going to be big announcements, and then nothing happens with it. The last time they said a shocking announcement was going to happen, they were giving away a Mewtwo in theaters in Japan that knew, like, Psyshock. And like, oh, like, there's your shocking connection. So,
Wait.
I'm not entirely sold on this, but I'll tune in.
My favorite moves.
See what happens. We'll find out if Miles' Pokemon Fighters prediction is correct.
That would be interesting. I'd actually be very interested. I don't play fighting games. I suck. I'm like, if I play a fighting game like Street Fighter or Tekken, I'm literally like a gorilla who's put the controller in its mouth and is chewing on it. I'm a button basher with those games.
Yeah.
I don't play them for shit. But I'd be quite interested in that.
That reminds me of Killer Instinct's online titles. The first title you get when you start the game is Button Masher. And then when you finally upgrade from Button Masher, you become free.
Yep. Ultra combo.
I wish I could do the last of the guy who this goes. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
So bad. But yeah.
People have apparently begun looking into Wii U data on their discs. And for Mario Kart 8, they found something pretty interesting. They found icons for 4 new cups. A Yoshi's Egg Cup, a Shine Sprite Cup, a Boo Cup, and a Blue Shell Cup.
Yes.
Could be possible because they have, also, full-size graphics of 12 Marios on the start line at Mario Circuit and the word sample plastered over it as a placeholder, essentially creating space on the disc for what would be DLC for Mario Kart 8. That would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
If you remember back in... I'm sorry, go ahead. Yep.
No, I was just thinking. This also made me think of a different thing that came out a while ago. You guys have probably talked about it already, but, I just want to bring it up anyway. Freaking Mercedes-Benz in Mario Kart?
Yeah.
Why? The whole
Mercedes-Benz.
The whole thing about playing Mario Kart is that you're playing a racing game which is nothing like the real world. Why would you bring real-world cars into this?
Because Luigi needs to ride even more dirty.
No, I agree with you. I think it's a little shady of Nintendo to actually accept this, but Mercedes-Benz has been trying to get into the DLC first exclusive space with racing games. Gran Turismo 6 is a perfect example. Like, they had DLC ready for that game at launch, and that made other car companies like Chrysler Group kind of look and be like, "Oh, we should do something." So we'll try to come up with something.
Sorry, Chrysler's not very big over here, and we have literally one Chrysler car that goes around here. I think it's called the Bug or something. I can't remember. It looks really fat.
Well, Jeep is part of Chrysler Group.
Okay, Chrysler cars then.
Dodge is part of Chrysler Group.
We don't get
Fiat is part of now Chrysler Group.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Huh.
So
Yes.
there's some European presence there. Anyway, point is, doesn't surprise me that Mercedes-Benz is getting in on that. But during E3, there was a screenshot which could have been an incredible fake. And let me pull it up here actually for the video version on youtube.com/ShowMeNews, or if you're watching live. There was this screenshot here at E3 that had more DLC characters for Mario Kart 8 with Professor Egad, with Birdo, with Plessy from some of the more recent Super Mario games like Mario 3D World, the little dolphin animal that you'd ride, and Diddy Kong is in there. Look at that, Diddy Kong's in there. So, could be a possibility for a future Mario Kart DLC announcement that uses these cups and maybe those characters. Ooh. Something to point out. And finally, in our story pool, it may matter to the few of those that have played the game To the Moon, but the follow-up called A Bird Story is coming out on November 5th this year.
Wow, talk about undercutting. First time you go to the moon, now you're just a bird.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they oversold it the first time. They overshot it, and now they're like, "Oh shit, what can we do now?"
I don't know.
Birdie.
I don't think it's going to necessarily tie into the story of To the Moon, but if you have not played that game, Steam, To the Moon, tugs at the heartstrings. It's a ride of feels.
It has all of the feels.
Do play it. So
got all the bang and zoom.
I nearly cried at a freaking Sprite laid out game. What?
Yeah, it's emotional. So A Bird Story coming out on November 5th. Very exciting.
Yeah, hopefully it's nothing like Hatterful Boyfriend.
Oh, God, no. Hatoful Boyfriend. Oh, my.
Them sexy pigeons.
Jim Leader Ben needs to talk more about that.
There you go. That's a better impression right there.
Thank you. I'm here all day.
Games out recently. We're in the doldrums, but we're right before all the big releases start to roll out, and I I know that I have to lay out all my pre-orders for this coming season. So it's gonna be several. But Ho-Ho-Come is out on the PlayStation platforms. It's a quirky little game that was announced a couple years ago. It's called Ho-Ho-Come.
I knew it. I knew you were going to ask this for a second one.
I'm sorry, what?
I didn't say Ho-Ho-Come,
Yeah,
if that's what you're asking.
Yes,
It
you
sounded
did.
like it.
Ho-Ho-Come.
Yes, yes.
There's a difference. It's a weird little game.
It's
You know,
okay, incident.
look up a video of it. It's just an odd little indie game on the PlayStation platforms. And then Tales of Xillia 2, which is the sequel to Tales of Xillia from last year?
Well, I don't know.
Did that game come out last year? It came out pretty recently.
Mm.
So that's out recently. Soon, Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney is coming out. And that's a big deal here for Show Me Your News because it's been like 4 years since that game was announced. I know Europe got it last year, but I can't wait.
We get it first. We get it first.
And
I played it.
The Walking Dead Season 2 finale out on Tuesday. Hype, hype, hype. All right, let's wrap up the show, guys, with some YouTube video recommendations. Miles, a YouTube video.
How about a Netflix video?
The Netflix video.
That's right. I'm going to give you a Netflix video recommendation and a not so Netflix recommendation. The recommendation is John Mulaney's New in Town.
Oh, God, yes. Oh, yes.
That was amazing. I
That
loved
should
every
be
second
found
of
on
it.
YouTube as well, though. I'm not
Might
saying
be.
New in Town. He's a stand-up comedian.
Yes.
Okay.
So John Mulaney. We'll have these all in our show notes at showmeyournews.com. But New in Town is the name of the special.
Yep.
I heard you. I heard you. Make a shout out to that earlier in the episode. I'm like, I think he just said what I think he did, but I'll let it slide. I give that my recommendation as well. It's a great show.
Cool.
Something that I found that I thought was going to be great, and then wasn't, was Louis C.K.'s Hilarious.
It's an older show of his.
It's an older show of his, and it shows. It was not funny in a lot of ways.
He's gotten a lot better.
He's gotten a lot better. But if you were curious, it's like, oh, look, this is on Netflix now, and it's Louis C.K., so I like it. No, his stuff was really rough. There was a couple funny parts, but honestly, I don't think it was nearly worth the amount of just Lionel sitting there going, this is more awkward than funny.
Yeah, just to bring up the British perspective on this, Louis C.K. is not a big thing over here. The first time I'd heard of Louis C.K. was the first time I'd visited America and was shown it by you and Mark, actually.
That's right. Yep.
That is
I
the
love
first time I'd ever heard of him.
I love his stand-up normally. I've watched a number of his stand-ups, and I thought they were always hilarious, but this was his first one, I think, that went to at least a video.
Yep.
And, no, it was not nearly as good as I was hoping.
I saw Lisa today. Huh, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean-
how most British people think American people speak, by the way. It's totally stupid.
Right. But, yeah, it was not an enjoyable experience in the slightest, really.
So you're not recommending that one, is what you're saying?
I am not recommending
Okay.
it. Say avoid it if you want to keep your respect to Louis C.K.
But yes, John Mulaney, New in Town. Was that the only one?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the only one.
All right. Rachel.
Yeah, I saw something very interesting today, actually, on my travel home, on the train, which is Fight to the Death, Power Rangers versus Cookie Monster.
Oh?
That was, it was uploaded like about a few days ago, and it's strangely, disturbingly strong, bloody, violent, yet hilarious. It has to be watched. It is, it's really so, I don't really want to give out too much what happens in the video, because it just takes away from, it just takes away from what happens in it, but just go watch it. It is amusing.
I think the title alone sells it. Fight to the Death, Power Rangers versus Cookie Monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't know how it's gonna go down.
That's why you gotta watch it.
Exactly. So you can either watch that, or I've been watching a lot of best of compilations for Game Grumps, like, you know, best of the Zelda series or best of the Super Mario Sunshine. I love those things so much. So good. I'm watching so much Game Grumps recently.
I'll probably see the best of King's Quest. That's probably how I watch those.
You got to see, if you're looking for compilations, you got to see the compilation of Danny's self-Jew jokes.
Oh, yeah.
What?
That's a great one.
Is Danny a Jew?
He is
Yeah.
a Jew.
Oh,
So he
okay.
makes Jew jokes at his own expense.
Okay.
And there's a collection of all those.
In fact,
I saw
all
his
all
very
the Ninja
recently
Sex
straightened
Party.
out. Sorry.
All the Ninja Sex Party songs have some sort of Jewish edge to them where he makes fun of the fact that he is a Jew.
Mm-hmm.
Do you
I
want to
saw
have
him as
sex with a ninja or a Jew?
I saw him with straightened hair recently, which was on one of their videos. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
what is
Yeah.
this?
Well, Susie is a bit of a hair designer herself, so...
Yeah. I'm glad that he came away from having the extreme long hair, though, because he started to look a little bit like a hobo.
Yeah.
A little bit.
My YouTube video recommendation, the Pokemon Company in Japan put out an official music video.
Oh, God.
Ooh, the model.
I know which one you're on about.
It gave me quite the, well, I'll have you watch it. It's called, I don't know what it's called because it's a Japanese title, but essentially it's a slowpoke music video set to Japanese reggae.
Ah,
Well, I know which one this is.
If you've ever wanted to see slowpokes in a circle in a human centipede style,
no.
multiple concentric circles of slowpokes
No.
in a human centipede style,
Not even a little bit.
How do you not know? How do you not know this? This is how slowpokes have sex.
I mean, yeah, the Shelders, clamp on. That's how they evolve.
No.
So, or if you're just a slowpoke fan, do give it a watch. It'll be in our show notes at showmenews.com/podcast. That'll do it for this episode, though. Episode 165. Miles and Rachel for your first official co-hosting episode.
I fucked it up! Yay!
No, you didn't. I do apologize to those listening. There were some internet quality episodes here, or episodes. What am I talking about? Internet quality issues here and there. We are going to work on trying to fix that. We're trying to, have it be broadcast in different places, and we all have some internet bandwidth issues, but we're going to try to sort that out. In a way, it's a new age for Show Me News with new perspectives. And Rachel, we're glad you're along for the ride.
Thank you. Very nice to be here, and let's hope that I can be less nervous for ones to come and have less of a sore throat.
Well, having a sore throat, as Miles had his first time with official duties, it's almost more of a tradition. So,
Yes.
and I'm trying to live for your name, Tony. I will do you proud. But I'm not going to watch wrestling.
Tony, we miss you.
I mean, no, I'm not going to say it. I miss Tony much as anyone else does, but, I mean, they're not exactly the big issues to do. Hey, I did it.
You're so mean.
Yes.
On that bombshell, it's time to end. With that, I'm Yoko.
I'm Solharat.
I'm Evie.
We're out. Thanks for listening.